Gambler, Tweety, the Mighty Unjust, among others. So again, a couple players who have had a lot of success already. Those are some big names.
Nothing on Earth realm can stop us.
2 words, bitch. Nuclear weapons.
Okay.
I've never heard that one ever in my entire life. But going into the match, here we go. Sindel versus Sonya. But yeah, Sonya, actually known for having quite a good projectile. Kind of given the nickname Zonya for a while. Still a very good projectile here going in, and this is going to be a nice opening.
Building some space there is full auto. Oh, little duck for BigDaddyG. Okay.
All right, so yeah, that crushing blow. Oh, using the air charge. Not a move that we see all that often, but trying to use it to just kind of get over, maybe get some air mobility, maybe trying to catch a jump back, which is something that we very often see from Sindels, especially if they have air Banshee dash.
As that low scream, we already saw that does get under her regular projectile. The blocking was there, not this time.
Ooh, both low. And this is really a battle of kind of the zones of their projectiles. You know, you've got the overhead, the drone drop, but it's not full screen. Oh, as the air projectile, but does get punished for it. Oh, catches with the whip and flip.
As you saw before, that whip and flip is definitely punishable, but if you think the opponent's gonna make a bet on what button to press, then you can make your own bet and sometimes come out on top.
Yeah, you also have the ability to take some like really risky kind of like I'd say like janky 50-50s, either using the low projectile or the flip. And sometimes, you know, that's exactly what you got to do in those last hit situations. It makes your opponent guess, or at the very minimum, at least makes them think more that you can make that guess.
Coast to coast. However, full auto's got the pressure. Never mind, it's going to be back to this distance game. Pestering from afar, soaring through.
Ooh. Yeah, so, you know, that move, I gotta be fully honest, not as familiar with it as I am with most of the rest of the moves in the cast, but clearly has quite a bit of landing recovery, just because we saw all the full, like, dash up into grab a little bit after it landed. Still a grab punish.
Threatening with that approach, most likely going up into the sky like that. Threatening with the interactable as well.
Yeah, so much of this match is going to be trying to get in the range of that drone drop, just because that is a really nice damage projectile. It does manage to stop the low projectiles from controlling everything. Oh, the cancel doesn't get a full combo, and this one is going to be a full combo, not able to convert.
Jumps back! Oh my god, neither one can touch the other. Look at the time, there's 10 on the clock. Full auto's down. Full auto's down. Does he realize? Oh, he got it! Oh!
He got the hit first. I think there was confidence that was going to be enough to kill, but it just wasn't quite. And BigDaddyG just barely eking out that win. But yeah, I can't believe that full auto went back with that little life. Ooh, just gets the jab opening. Maybe expecting a grab right there, something like that. But I mean, the life lead, as you can see from that final round, is just going to be so gigantic in this match. You know, this is really kind of a zoning match. Both of these characters have great up close options, but at this point, we've seen more zoning than not.
Full auto just pestering only a little bit, and right back to that distance game again, over the interactable.
Oh! The breakaway, and now full auto has Fatal Blow. Fatal Blow, very, very good hitbox for Sindel. Just needs to get a little confirmation, or, oh, that was actually a punish, and that should be it. No defensive bar to break away, and BigDaddyG taking the first game.
That's the kind of thing you're gonna need to do. Not just at this level of play in general, but if you're gonna play a character like Sonya, you really need to make the best that you can in every single situation. So you've got to be looking for false blocks in those situations like that. We did already see that full auto tried to end the string in the same way before. You know, so that was already something that they were thinking about. BigDaddyG really aware, ready for that when it came.
Yeah, it's this is a very interesting match. You know, like I said before, this is not one that we've seen a whole lot at a super high competitive level. There's not a lot of Sonya players left, you know, at this point in time, but obviously still quite a good character, as BigDaddyG is showing. But this has really been a lot more of a zoning matchup than I thought it was going to be. And I made the Zonia joke earlier in the match, but that really is what it's coming down to. Trying to get these trades, trying to get in range for the drone. I'm curious to see if we're going to see anything different out of full auto, because there are so many different things you could do, like, for example, the air Banshee dash, a way to possibly get over the projectile. No, we're still going to see the exact same thing. Air Banshee barrage is the projectile that we saw from the air. Whip and flip wasn't really used as an anti-projectile tool the entire time, but we could see that as well.
Yeah, she's got a couple of ways around projectiles, of course, with that both that low and the whip and flip to get over.
But if you just start winning the zoning war, you don't need to worry about it. Whoa!
Okay.
That was very, very cool. That's almost like a throwback to older NRS Mortal Kombats. They're low immune moves that they kind of like low crush is, I guess, the best way to put it. And you can use it to go over low fireballs, but I haven't really seen that much in this game. Again, though, grabbing has just not worked out for full auto.
Yeah, he's had success at range, but when it comes up close, not quite as much.
Yeah, well, okay, nice plus frames. The up close game from Sonya, definitely a stronger up close game than Sindel. Sindel just tries to get you back to that mid range, right? But if you're point blank, it gets pretty scary.
Again, if you're going to be zoning, you do have to move forward sometimes, and that's what full auto used to end that round right there, the sudden surprise jump forward.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Sindel is the best at, with forward 4 or forward 2, or we actually haven't seen too many raw screens be thrown out. Of course, that crushing blow is probably the scariest thing. Hey, there it is right there. This is probably the scariest thing that Sindel has, known to be just the end of your life, basically, when it hits.
Dude, the reactions to consistently stay on top of the projectiles, on top of the onion rings, has been really impressive so far.
Oh, no confidence that the overhead was going to hit there. And didn't get the full knockdown from that string, so not a lot of confidence from a lot of these spots. But there we go, finally landing the air charge. I was waiting to see how that exactly was going to be used, but I guess you can get it as a punish. Oh,
nice.
Wow. Oh yeah, maybe
using the fact that Sonya at that range is looking for highs for the most part.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really difficult life to come back from, and of course now it's going to be impossible. That was a much more dominant game from full auto. We saw this more with like Liu Kang before, but the crushing blows from Sindel are gigantic, and it's not as many crushing blows as like Liu Kang or as Garrus, but when she does land her important ones, it's huge, because she doesn't really have, unless you're taking like the 2 slot like launcher, her damage isn't usually gigantic, right? But she gets some of like the biggest combos in the game when she lands her crushing blows, or just some like really big punishes. So it's about like, chipping people down with zoning and then finding your big moments, and I feel like full auto really did in that game.
I feel like, again, what sticks out in my mind is that there was more forward movement in that case for full auto. So it wasn't just him being, running away. I mean, keep in mind, first game, we saw him actually like running away when he was down in life that one round, right? Like he was very dedicated to staying away. Not quite as much that time.
Yeah, it's a very easy thing to do, even for top players, just based on kind of like how much your opponent's intimidating you, right? To like give up too much space on accident, not challenge enough, especially when you're playing against a character that can punish you so heavily for stuff. But yeah, you just gotta make that check. Oh, and it's a great way to start off, getting, oh my gosh, damage and the charge for the full combo. Oh, everything's going right for full auto here.
Yeah, that mid-range is really looking a lot better right now for full auto.
Just backing up. Again, not the same way getting punished, for that throw, but still just getting punished for almost every single throw. I'm so surprised he's continuing to try it. I would love to see him like dash up and do like maybe a little bit of a delayed meaty. Not meaty, maybe like mid.
Oh, didn't believe in the rest. BigDaddyG still here. Hopes. Full auto just patient. Again, he ran away when he was way down in life before. He's still feeling confident, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he's definitely going to have to find an opening. He's got the fatal blow. That's really the only answer out here. Wow, what are both?
Yo, there's the over with whip and flip. Chip is even a big issue at this point. Underneath, and it's good for full auto to take the round. Again, he was still okay, even though he was way down in life. He felt confident.
Yeah, we've seen now a lot of these like really clutch moments, and honestly, that was very much the same read that we saw in the very first game of the set, but this time had the right read on how much life Sonya actually had left, so it was gonna kill.
feel like there's some impatience coming out for him. I'm BigDaddyG. Now he's run into stuff that he wasn't running into before.
Yeah.
He's really insistent about moving forward. I get it. I understand why. Wow, huge whiff punish.
And gonna get the side switch. It's gonna be nice, but wow, really good use of the interactable. Said, oh, you side switch me? I'm going back to exactly where I was before. And yeah, this life is just draining. Oh, the forward four, one of the best strings in the game. Now Chip is, gonna be nearly unavoidable. And I feel like whatever happened in that first game, full auto came back twice as strong for the next two. And it just feels like he has full control at this point, especially with how that game started. That was ridiculous.
I definitely agree with you that there's extra strength when it comes to full auto side, but I think even more than that, in watching that game right there, I feel like there was impatience on BigDaddyG's side. And I'm a little surprised to see that, but it did seem to me like he was more insistent about dashing forward, running into things. He ran into a bunch of projectiles that way, for example, in trying to jump forward a little bit more often, in trying to squeeze out this extra forward movement. And like, you get it, right? He wants to be up close. He doesn't want to have to deal with this zoning. I totally understand. But at the same time, that has cost him life in that game, I think, more than it was before.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it for the very first game, how so much of the damage that he got was from counter zoning, throwing the rings. So I do see a different look. Okay, he hasn't just chosen yet. But yeah, throwing the rings and just trading with projectiles, especially being able to get that crushing blow ring, which is a very common crushing blow to see, and then getting the orbital drop damage just to get the knockdown, get a little bit more. We saw BigDaddyG really winning a lot in the zoning game, but he just wasn't trying it in the second and third games. So I would like to see him go back to that. I mean, full auto maybe adapted a little bit to it, maybe made it a little bit too hard to do that, but at the very least, still showing that you're willing to do it could be huge. Yeah, I don't know if there's another pick that we could see here. And it looks like this is the same exact variation. I'm not as familiar with how all of her moves look on that screen. I think that was orbital drop, the ring charge, and the air down energy rings. Okay, yep. Oh wait, no, that's not the same.
No, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no more. I think it's called Soaring General. But I'm not super confident in that. The other move. Now there's air downward rings. So maybe the intention is now he can attack from that kind of mid-range airborne distance that's been a problem for him.
Yeah, we'll see. The air downward rings, not exactly the move that you would all maybe expect. You don't get like a meterless downward ring. That would be really scary. Nice, there we go. Just a crushing blow like I was talking about. And look, the zoning game overall being won by BigDaddyG. And not only is he winning the damage just barely, but he managed to get him all the way to the corner. So he's got this far, and now he just needs to land like 1-2 full combos here.
Okay, chance to move in. Oh, the threat was there, understood. Full auto. Tries to get up close. Yep. Just like that, it's the chase all over again, and it's running into things again for BigDaddyG.
Oh yeah, the jump kick again. We've seen so many jump kick air-to-airs working out for full auto, just so good at using those that way, and now it's gonna be match point.
Oh, he's ready. There's full auto. And then the threat of that. Oh, there it is!
Oh, no. Scream into scream. The ultimate nightmare thing to get hit by. And gonna get the side switch when you amplify the hair whip. Oh, that is tough. Look at that. Life is just gone. Sonya, not a huge life character. I think 950 as well. And oh, look at this. Just needs to find some solid hits. And I like the fact that we've seen the dash ups, no more grabs. And we've seen a lot of times where BigDaddyG has attempted to duck a grab and then been hit.
Wow. Yeah, that mid-range was really just all full autos. You could see BigDaddyG running into a bunch of that. Again, I still really like the awareness that full auto had as he jumped back. He was still ready for the air banshee stuff. Really, really good play. Great zoning, great understanding of that. He could still make comebacks in some of these rounds. He didn't feel like he was overly pushed to do so. He moved forward